Now I would like to talk about a few examples. Example number one, hypertrophy and max strength. Hypertrophy, let's talk about the dosage. Usually 2 to 4 sets, very basic. Repetitions 6 to 40. Why? Below 6 reps, your hypertrophy gains will slowly diminish. And yes, up to 40, it's still efficient as long as you're keeping your intensity and limit upright, because your intensity should be reps in reserve 1 to 2, so close to your limit. And here we're talking about the muscle failure that we had earlier. The tempo can vary and your rest times should be somewhere in between 1 to 3 minutes if you're working for hypertrophy. So at the beginning in the off season, or as an overall beginner, for example, then I'd rather choose higher rest times, longer rest times, so more 2 to 3 minutes instead of just 1 minute. Hypertrophy is a very good way to combine with mobility. It's just a slight change in tempo. So for example, if you want to work on hamstring mobility, you could do Romanian deadlifts with a controlled eccentric, so way down with a 1 to 2 second pause at the bottom and then come back up. If you want to target max strength, still 2 to 5 sets, low reps, 0 to 8. I think most of you understand why we go to 8. But why 0? There's a so-called supra-maximal strength training where you choose a weight that you can eccentrically control, so on the way down, but not conquer concentrically. So for example, you lower your bar when bench pressing, then you have something or some to help you get the bar back to the top, and then you do your eccentric again. Same as for hypertrophy, it's important to go for reps in reserve 1 to 2 to 3, somewhere in between there. Now, important, the tempo, in my opinion, always an explosive concentric. So concentric is the phase where you push the bar up in back squats and bench press, for example, or pull it up in Romanian deadlifts. And important to notice, with explosive, I do not mean a fast bar speed. I mean an intention to move the bar as fast as possible, even if it moves rather slow. Here's why. We know that we make similar strength gains when doing concentrics as fast as possible or doing it with a regular moderate speed or intention, but you will have way more power improvement when doing it as fast as possible. So why don't use it? Because we need power in American football. So always push your concentric as fast as possible. Heavyweight, fast bar speed, or high intent means more CNS fatigue, meaning we need a little more rest, somewhere in between 3 to 7 minutes. As an example, B stands, Romanian deadlifts with the barbell. This could be as well hypertrophy as well as max strength, just technique wise, could also be with a focus on mobility. The difference would be the dosage or the intensity that we have. So if it's low load, high rep, we have more hypertrophy. If we have high external load, low rep, we have max strength. Next example, working on explosiveness, so power, plyos, etc. If we want to improve power and speed strength, still 2 to 5 sets, 1 to 10 reps. Here, obviously, it does not make any sense if you try something supra-maximal, so at least 1 rep and up to 10 reps. Why up to 10? Our intensity should always be within 10% of our PR if we take a look at the velocity. So for example, if we perform a bench press as fast as possible with the current weight and we have a bar speed of, for example, 1 meter per second on our best rep in this training session, then we want to stay within 10% of this rep. We won't be faster, obviously, because that's our PR in this training session, but we will get slower and we do not want to fall below 90%. So we want to be 0.9 meters per second or faster all the time. If we fall below, it's going to be inefficient. And usually we will fall below these 10% mark within the first 10 reps when done properly. That's why we have 1 to 10 repetitions. We always do the reps as fast as possible with max intent and can do single reps as well as continuous reps depending on the exercise. Again, high CNS demands therefore higher rest times. If we take a look at plyometrics and pre-stretch, we now know the difference. Again, 2 to 5 sets. Here, more reps because it's less demanding for our CNS, so we can push longer until we reach the 10% limit. The intensity and the tempo stay the same, and we rest for approximately 1 minute per 10 seconds because, again, it's a little less demanding than power exercises. Example for power, banded, explosive Romanian deadlifts. Example for, in this case, pre-stretch, single leg hurl bounce. Now to have a little fun in the end, I will show you a bad example. Bad because we do not have a clear goal or in other words, multiple goals. Shout out to Dr. Mike Israetel for this video. Let's skip forward to here. Take a look at the video here in this region. There we go. So he has a trap bar. He has some kind of band around his arms. He's starting in a B stance. Now what is he doing? Rows. Okay, he's doing rows. Good. Wait for it. Oh no, he's doing Romanian deadlifts. Yeah, Romanian deadlifts. Oh no, wait. He's doing rows. Okay, now I'm confused. He's doing rows and Romanian deadlifts in one exercise and does have special bands somewhere in between. Fancy looking. So right now I'm not really sure. Is he working for hemi strength, pulling strength, accessories? I don't know. Let's just assume that usually we're stronger in our Romanian deadlifts than in our bent over rows, right? So now if he had the suitable weight for Romanian deadlifts, this would then mean that the weight is not suitable for bent over rows, right? It's too high. Now, what is the result? We do have inefficient training for the Romanian deadlifts because we have useless fatigue. We have the whole bent over row in between, which is also fatiguing our central nervous system, and also kind of mini breaks in between the Romanian deadlifts, and also inefficient regarding bent over rows because the weight is too heavy and he's just compensating by his upright posture. Simple solution, just focus on one goal. It's very easy. You don't need any fancy looking sport specific exercises in the gym. Just focus on one goal. First hamstring strength, do your Romanian deadlifts, then do some kind of pulling strength, for example, seal rows or bent over rows, and you're good to go. Don't overcomplicate it, please. That's it for today's Understanding the Why. I do have a few more episodes planned already, such as sports psychology, about staying motivated, setting goals, etc. Training planning, how to optimize for max performance on game day. Sleep, maybe the most underestimated training method, right? Injury prevention, we're going to talk about if it's even possible. And conditioning, why skipping might ruin your career. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me if you have any questions and ideas. I'm always happy to discuss, and see you next time.